What's up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of Collector's Thoughts. I'm your host, Respawn Granted, co-host, as always, Real Batman. RB, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Um, as you guys all know, Halloween is right around the corner, and we figured what better way to celebrate Halloween than to actually talk about the movie Halloween. And in particular, they just released, well, probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Halloween Ends, which is the final one to the trilogy. And I know we have a lot to say about this wrap up. So, we real quick before we get into the Halloween Ends, I just want to let the audience know we're gonna be doing like quick little videos about like the rest of the Halloween series and how we feel about them. And but we figured we'd start off here just because this was the most recent one. This was the most recent trilogy, and there was a lot of ups and downs in the trilogy. And but before we get there, I just want to ask you, bud, real quick, what's your favorite theme, Michael Myers theme? Because you're a big Michael Myers fan.
When you say theme, you talking about like music?
Yeah, the Halloween music. Yep.
I'm gonna say the '78, and then I would go with this trilogy, the 2018 and the Kills.
Yeah, agree. For me, it would be the '78. Then I like the Halloween 2, and then it would be this trilogy that just came out.
Yep.
Now, what about? I didn't really care for the Rob Zombie music. What did you think? What was your least favorite theme that you can remember? Because I know there's been a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think Rob Zombie's the theme wasn't very good, but yeah. I don't think it was the worst. I think the one with Busta Rhymes wasn't very good either, dude. That whole movie, the whole kung fu shit with Michael Myers, dude.
Yeah.
It's not very good. Not very good.
Yeah, he's had a lot of ups and downs throughout his whole movie career, let's be honest. So, yeah, as far as the music goes, they're all pretty similar, but I think the '78 one nailed it. Simple, perfect, strikes, fear into the audience. So really nicely done.
Simple is elegant.
Exactly. So nothing too crazy. I thought they did it perfectly. And then as far as the mask goes, I personally love the newer mask, the one from this new trilogy. I think they knocked out of the park. You got just enough of that scary mixed with simplicity. What do you think, man?
I'm gonna say the 2018 and the Kills and the Ends, like they all did, because the 2018 is probably my favorite. Then it would be the Kills, and then it would be the '78, and then it would be actually the Rob Zombie masks, because I think this trilogy, I think they took a page out of his masks and just obviously added more years to it and more, filth and wear and tear to the mask.
See, for me, it would be the new one, like Kills and 18. I'd put them like neck and neck. Then I would actually go the zombie one and then go the '78 one.
Okay.
And real quick, dude, I have to say, because these are fresh on my mind, the Halloween masks from Halloween 4 and 5 are absolutely ridiculous. Dude, the whole time I was watching Halloween 4, I kept laughing because do you remember that? Do you know that actor? I think his name is Matthew Broderick. Halloween 4 looks like him, dude. And I just kept picturing that actor every time he showed up. There was no fear. I laughed the whole time. The movie was not that bad, but his mask was absolutely terrible, dude. I'm sorry.
And Halloween 5 looked like Fat Bastard was in the fucking mask because the neck was huge.
Yeah. 5 wasn't that great either.
No.
Those two are definitely the worst masks, in my personal opinion. But I would love to hear what you guys think. Music and masks down below, please. Yeah. Nice little list. So now that we started off with some good stuff and some of our favorite stuff, now we're going to get into the actual trilogy itself. Now, do you want to start off right with Ends already, or would you like to start off with the 2018 remake? I'm sorry.
I'm going to cover the whole trilogy right now. I think 2018 was a good movie.
Yep.
40 years later, he's been locked up, whatever. I thought they did a great job. I thought Halloween Kills. This is just a summary of all three. I thought Halloween Kills, probably in terms of Michael Myers, like scenes and killings, and that's probably the best movie. In terms of the kills, like literally, like the amount of people that he houses, I think Michael Myers was most badass in Kills. of all the movies, of all of them, even the 78, all of them. Halloween Ends.
Was he in that movie?
We know Corey was. Look, if I think we talked about this before we started recording. I think they got the order wrong. If this is the story that they wanted to go with these 3 movies, look at me, man, not you, Respawn.
Yeah, right.
They're watching this, which I highly doubt. You got the freaking order wrong.
Yeah.
If you had done Ends, should have been where Kills was, because if you think about it, if you remember in Kills, what is Laurie Strode saying at the end as he kills her daughter? The more he kills, the more he transcends into something more, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So explain to me why the F this guy's in a sewer frail like that.
I know.
Wouldn't it made more sense him being like that after he gets locked in the basement, the house is on fire, somehow he escapes into a sewer, and then he comes across Corey where he brings this cop and feeds it to him, and then he's stabbing him and he's like jerking, like, oh, I'm getting my superpower. Like, dude,
yeah.
I get there are some people out there that don't have a problem with Ends, but you're casual fans. Because if you think Halloween Ends was a good movie, and you say that I liked it, it was good, you have the right to your opinion, but you're not a diehard Halloween Michael Myers fan. They screwed Michael Myers in that movie. All the buildup between 2018, the first in the trilogy, then Kills, where he pretty much is badass and houses everybody. And the way the movie ends, they don't pick up where that leaves off at all.
Right.
And then they make him frail, and they just make him look like a wuss in that movie. Seriously. And if you're a Myers fan, and I know a lot, like D Knight, big YouTuber, huge Myers fan like myself, we're just flat out pissed off with this movie. He was barely in the damn movie. All the buildup, Strode, Myers, the final battle. What did we see Myers in this movie? 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I want to hear, I know I just went on like a little bit of a rant here, but seriously, dude, like, what the hell was that? Like, if you had followed 2018 with Ends, I wouldn't have probably had as much of a problem. I still wouldn't have liked the fact that Myers wasn't in the movie that much, but it was, I can understand. He escaped the fire. He's banged up. He's getting older. It hurt him. He finally gets to kill that cop that's fed to him by Corey. Yeah. And then he starts to kill more and then Kills should have been Ends, where he's just massacring everybody, kills Laurie Strode's daughter. Laurie Strode loses it, and then they collide.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. This order, Halloween 18, Kills, and then this, no. No.
See, here's the thing. Me personally, Freddy Krueger's my number one. Okay, he's my number one horror guy. Myers is number 2. So here's the thing. One of my big problems with this character in general, okay? So not just in this trilogy, throughout the whole thing. The movie industry does not know what to do with this guy. I'm going to be straight up honest with you, man. If you look at Freddy Krueger, they know. He's a demon. He attacks you in your sleep. Rinse, wash, repeat. Same thing over and over again. I get it. I understand it gets boring, but everybody knows where he stands. He is a demon that attacks you in your sleep. You got to beat him by taking him out of the dream world where he's not powerful, okay? Then you look at someone like Jason Voorhees, big zombie-like creature. This guy's a monster. Just this huge being of this towering man, but he's not human. He's a zombie. He's like a paranormal thing. You cannot just kill this guy. That's where he is. With Myers, the things that drives me nuts about this is that Hollywood keeps tiptoeing between he's just a man or he's this superpowered demon. Pick a lane, make him fit in that lane, and go. Stop tiptoeing back and forth. That's my biggest problem. Rewatching all these Halloween movies, dude. I love this character, dude. And I watch certain movies with him, and I'm not going to lie, certain times I'm watching these movies, he surpasses Freddy for me. I'm like, this guy's so awesome. I love what they're doing. Then I watch other movies, and I'm like, what did they do? Why did they just bring him back down again? So I think that's the biggest problem with Hollywood and why these movies keep getting screwed up. And the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because they did it in this trilogy. You look at Halloween Kills, and we talked about it, dude. I loved Halloween Kills. I thought they made him look like an absolute beast, and they made him. He's not as big as Jason is, but boy, he was lifting people like they were dolls. He's slaughtering people. He's doing what he's got to do. And I'm sitting there, and like you said with Laurie, he gets more powerful. But I'm like, this is what they need to do. Go down this road with this guy. Make him not just a human. Make him be something more. Then with Halloween Ends, they're like, oh yeah, forget all that stuff. He's just a man again that can pass evil from him to Corey. What are you doing? What the hell is going on? If they had if they wanted to do that, okay, I'm going to tell you how they could have fixed it right now. They should have had Corey introduced in Kills. If they wanted to keep the order that it was in, have this character Corey show up in Kills, and he's already there. We already kind of know a little bit about this guy, okay? And then still keep Kills the way it was, but just sprinkle a little bit of that Corey storyline. That way it's not forced down our throat in the last movie, and he's there for 90% of it, and Myers is only there for 5 or 10. It's like, no, dude, you sprinkle that in slowly. You can't just force feed us that and then be like, oh yeah, you guys are all going to be okay with it, because we're not. Because in Halloween Kills, you're telling us he's this superpowered Halloween demon, but then in Ends, there's a scene where Corey wrestles him to the ground and rips the mask off him and says, you're just a man in a mask. Which one are you? Are you a man in a mask, or are you some powerful guy? I need help. Help me out, real Batman. Help me.
I can't even, they completely botched the ending to this trilogy. In my opinion, 2018 was the better movie. Then it was Kills, not the Myers scenes. The Myers scenes was better in Kills. He was more badass, and he was, again, going down that path that we all Myers fans want to see, because we hear about that debate all the time. We want that epic showdown like Freddy versus Jason, but we want Myers versus Jason. Well, if you look at what they were doing with him in Kills, I could have seen that down the road, because they're making him into that. He's more than just a man.
Agreed.
And they didn't continue that in Ends. The fact that Corey and Laurie Strode's granddaughter were a majority of this movie is, especially Corey, and you talk about Corey wrestling to the. How about at the end when, first of all, that final battle with Laurie Strode was way too short, in my opinion, wasn't long enough, and then the granddaughter comes in and breaks his arm like it's a toothpick.
Yeah.
Again, to touch on what you were just saying and what we've talked about before we started recording this, we talked about this for years. I introduced you to Myers probably at a very young, inappropriate age, but whatever. But you worked out fine. You're somewhat of a psychopath, not complete. But anyway,
only on the weekends.
Only on the weekends, right? We only do it part-time.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like I get what you're saying, where they should have probably introduced him in the second one, but I'm still saying the storyline, they got it switched. Ends should have been Kills.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yep.
Trapped in a house that's burning. He escapes, somehow winds up in a sewer. It makes sense. But that's not what they did here. They took him in 2018. He's trapped. He gets out. He comes out of a burning house, demolishes all the firefighters, right?
Yep.
Then he just keeps slaughtering people. And the more he just gets more powerful. And how do you go from that to how End starts?
Yeah.
It doesn't make freaking sense at all.
And you can't tell me it's because of the fight at the end. Because yeah, he got beat up pretty good. But how many times have we seen Myers get shot, stabbed, and all this other stuff, and he's still picking up people one-armed? Like, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. So
at the fight at the end, he ends up getting up, putting the mask on, and he slaughters the crap out of all of them.
Yeah.
Then he kills Laurie Strode's daughter.
Yeah.
So no. It didn't make sense.
So now the reason why I said what I said with the trilogy thing, if they had introduced Corey earlier, is because I'm thinking of it not just from Michael Myers, the character perspective, but as far as the storyline for the whole thing. It would make more sense if you introduced Corey earlier, because you're trying to tell us that Michael Myers is just a man in a mask, but he has some kind of evil that he can pass on to somebody else. So then why not introduce Corey earlier? This seems like an afterthought. And
then I heard some people say, because if Corey was going to be, because Myers is getting too old and Corey was going to he gave him his powers and he was going to be the next Michael Myers, which I don't like that idea. But at the same time, then why the hell would you kill the kid off?
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
None of it made sense. If that's what you were trying to push on us, then why would you kill the kid off?
I know.
None of it makes sense.
See that, and that's the thing. That's what I want to touch on with this movie in particular, is that's the problem. Hollywood has done this before. In Halloween 4, at the end, they give you that little taste of what's her name now?
Jamie,
thank you. She kills the mom. Remember? And
yep.
She has the Halloween costume on, and they're like, "Oh my God!" And then Halloween 5, they're like, "Oh yeah, forget about that." It's like, what are you doing? Is she past? Are you past? It's like they want to do that, but they're scared to. And I get it, man. I get it. Like if you want, but the thing is, if you want Michael Myers to be forever Michael Myers, then just make him not human. Like, let me ask you personally, you're a big Michael Myers fan. He's your favorite horror villain. What do you want? Do you want him to be a normal guy in a mask, or do you want? Okay, see, so why not just go down that path where he's more like Jason? He's more. There's something different about him. And the other things too is you can't feed me that he's human, because last time I checked, a regular human, even a guy like the size of The Rock, can't pick somebody up one armed, fully extended with a blade in their back and lift them up like they're a doll. There's glimpses of this guy not being human. Why not just go that route? He's not human. There you go. Go. You don't see anybody else asking for a new Jason. It's Jason Voorhees. They don't want Pat playing Jason. It's Jason. Just keep it.
This has been a reoccurring theme throughout this franchise. As much as he is my favorite character, and there are a lot of good movies. Like I said, like we talked about this off camera, and I'm going to say it again. A lot of people don't like the Rob Zombie films. The first Rob Zombie one, I think, is actually a very good movie because he goes really in depth and showing you and explaining to you why he becomes the way he becomes.
Yeah,
and
I liked that movie too.
Even more so than John Carpenter. Yeah. Now, the second one, it's debatable. That wasn't a very good movie. But yeah, I mean, they've kind of been all over the place. And that, for me, the problem I had with Kills was that outside of the Myers scenes, there was a lot of raunchy lines in that movie in Kills.
Yeah.
Evil dies tonight. I'm like, oh, God, no.
Yeah, that killed it.
I cringed. But there was some funny parts in there, too. But the thing that I loved about Kills was they were making him into that supernatural, not man type character that I've been longing for a long time and been arguing with people. He's not just human, because you can't kill him. He keeps coming back.
Right.
If he was human, he wouldn't keep coming back.
Right.
So, and Kills kind of, glorified me. Like I was right. I was like, all these years I've been saying he's something more. And they kind of proved me right. And then they come up with Ends and they shat all over me.
Yep.
And every other Michael Myers diehard fan. And that's why there's so many people like D Knight who are, I mean, you want to talk about a man that doesn't curse on his channel. He was cursing after Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even trying to stop himself. He couldn't stop himself. He was that mad with that movie. And I remember, just real quick before, don't forget what you were going to say. Yep. I remember at one point, a quarter of the way through Ends, I looked at my wife and I said, I don't know how I feel about this movie, but I can tell you right now, it ain't good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
It's just, it was bad.
Yeah, but see that's the only thing that's where me and you differ a little bit. Me watching Ends, if it didn't have the Halloween title over it, it wasn't a bad movie, dude. It actually,
I didn't say that.
No. I know
the movie itself was good, but it's not. When you build up something to be the final battle between Myers and Laurie Strode, and they're barely in it, right? That's the problem.
Right, exactly. So that's what I want to make clear right off the bat. The movie itself is not a bad movie. It's a pretty good storyline. I liked what they were trying to do. I could see where they were going with it. I'm like, okay, I get this. Now, the reason why I said I would have liked if they introduced some of that in Kills is because Kills was just action, which no complaint here, but you could have put a little of that story and that build up already there so that we could already be like, well, wait a minute. What's the idea with this guy? Because I forgot the actor's name, but the guy that played Corey actually did a good job. I thought he did a very good job.
He did a good job.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so the actor's doing good. The story's pretty good. What's the big problem here? Well, the big problem is well, first of all, let's get the big obvious one. It's called Halloween, and Michael Myers is not even really in it. That's one of the big ones right there. You got to have him in it. Second thing is, like you said, you haven't Halloween Kills. You're building this monster of a man that he is just slaughtering people at the drop of a hat. To now he's cowering in the sewer, and to the point where, like I said, he was wrestled away. His mask was wrestled away from him. Like, give me a break, dude. And then even then, he transfers the power to Corey. And by the way, spoilers alert. I mean, I don't think we have to say it, but just in case, spoiler alert. He transfers the power over to Corey, and later on, Corey is putting on the mask and he's doing the thing. And I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of like this. I see where they went with it. It's a younger Michael Myers, and he's got the mask on and he's doing his thing. He's killing people. All right, I see where they went with this. And then, like you said, at the end, he gets killed. And even when he like kind of got killed, Michael still showed up, broke his neck, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, they wanted to trick us. Now Michael's in, and he's gonna mess it up. And no, he just, I don't know, he kind of hobbles around, gets pinned by a refrigerator, arm broken. I'm like, what the hell am I watching right now? Dude, this was a huge letdown for me, man. I was like you. I was expecting a battle. I was expecting something great. And
to be honest with you, I thought Laurie Strode was gonna die.
I thought they both were gonna die. I thought it was gonna be like a double kill type of situation.
You know what I mean? I could see, I could see him killing Laurie Strode and Laurie Strode's granddaughter killing him. That's what I thought might have happened.
Yeah.
This was like, he was like sliced and diced and gutted like a pig, pretty much. Yeah. And again, where they left off with kills, where the more he kills, the more he transcends to something more.
Yeah.
I mean, are you fucking? And then you leave the mask at the end of Ends on her coffee table. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You ruined the franchise. Who gives a shit if you left the mask there? Who's gonna fucking take the helm?
Yeah. Yeah.
You killed Corey. What is it, Laurie? Like, come on, dude. Like, no.
And that's the
good
problem.
Good luck, because you know eventually they're gonna try to reboot. Somebody's gonna try to reboot this.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, I don't know how long it's gonna take, because it's gonna probably take a genius, and even he's probably gonna be like, how do I fix this? Like rocking in the chair, like, how do I fix this?
They're gonna have to scrap it, dude. They have to scrap it again. That's people complain about Superman having reboots. Look at this guy, dude. I'm sorry, man. They keep scrapping.
Well, Spider-Man too. We've already had 3 actors, and they're already working on the 4th one. It's like,
yeah, but the difference is they're not scrapping it though. They're just doing reboots from like different universes. With Myers, they keep going back and forth between. Oh, like when this one came out, what did they tell you? Oh, this one takes place after the first one. And then when Halloween, I don't know, 4 came out or 5, they're like, oh, this one takes place after the second one. It's like, just stop, dude. You guys are trying to force too much. It shouldn't be this difficult. If Jason can go to outer space and people still think the movie's decent, you can do it with Michael Myers, dude. Give me a break. So it's honestly, dude, like I said, in my opinion, I think if Corey was introduced earlier, slowly kind of giving you that idea that he might end up taking the helm, and then he takes the damn helm and we just leave it at that, this could have worked. Or if they did what you said, which was you switch the placement, that could have worked too. Either way, this movie needed more Myers in it, and they needed to just pick a lane. Once again, I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but that's the best way for me to say it, is one movie they're telling you one thing. Like, actually, here's another perfect example. Who is Laurie Strode to Michael Myers? That keeps changing too. Is she a sister? Is she a babysitter? Was she adopted? Who the hell is she to this guy? I don't know. They keep rebooting it. So, dude, like I said,
stopped trying to figure that one out already after all the different stories and different. But
yeah,
we need somebody to take a handle of this franchise, and I think Rob Zombie would have been that guy, but he got so much hate that he just went, F you people. That, like, when you look at his first one that he did a better job of explaining why he became that way, and people still trash the movie. Like Rotten Tomatoes and like those douchebags. Like that was actually a very good movie. And what's his face? I forgot the guy that played. Let me pull this up right here because I can't remember his damn name now.
Oh yeah.
Tyler Mane.
Oh,
That
yes.
dude, that dude was huge.
But see, that was my only gripe is when I saw that movie, he was too big for Myers.
No.
He was more, yeah, not for you, of course not. To you, bigger the better. But realistically, if you look at the way they're built, he was more of a Jason build for me. When I look at when I look at these three guys, right? Listen, when I look at the three major like slashers, Myers, I see him as the middle guy. You got Freddy, who's the smallest, the thinnest out of all of them. Jason, the big hulking guy, and Myers is right in that middle. So that was my thing with Halloween.
Miss Chucky.
He's not even on the list.
Ankle pointer.
Dude, I'm sorry, I'm not a big Chucky fan, dude. But yeah, he's down at the bottom. But the when you look at that actor, he the whole time I was watching that movie, I was like, this guy would be a perfect Jason. He's just so big and just a big hulking body. He would be perfect for Jason. And I think he did play the Jason, didn't he? The remake that they crapped all over for that too.
Yeah, I think you might be right. But here's the thing, though: James Hugh Courtney is not that small either. That's the one that plays Myers in these movies.
Yeah, but he's not that big. Like, compare him to that guy. That's what I mean. You know,
that's why they should have let Rob Zombie kept going with it, because I like Tyler Mane.
Of course, you do.
It would have led up to Myers versus Jason.
Yeah,
because I think Rob Zombie wanted to do that, or it was like.
Well, you'd have to have Tyler Mane play both of them then, because he's so big. I haven't played both suits.
Nope. Whoever was playing Jason, that's who you're gonna face. You're gonna face Tyler Mane.
But here's the other thing too. The other thing I was going to say was, it seems like people, no matter what, when they reboot something, they instantly hate it, regardless of, you know what I'm saying? And it's frustrating because they kill a lot of potential good movies or series or whatever because of that hate. Because, I mean, I've straight out said it. The Jason remake, the Friday the 13th, I liked it. I liked it. I don't care what anybody says. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake, I liked it. Don't care what anybody says. And the Rob Zombie one started off pretty promising too. And it's like, it's that thing where it's like, oh, because it's not so-and-so, I instantly hate it. It's like, well, but why do we got to be like that? Like with Freddy, Robert Englund cannot play Freddy forever. He's got to eventually stop. We need somebody else. And one of the big complaints was, the Freddy in this movie is too dark. Well, first of all, he's killing people. Last time I checked, that's supposed to be pretty dark. And the other thing too is, no one's complaining with too dark with when the superheroes are doing it. Because last time I checked, when I grew up, Spider-Man wasn't a very dark character. And yet in some of these movies and stuff, there's some dark crap going on. You know, it's a little darker than the cartoons and stuff. So
no, what they want is they want Freddy to be hopping around with holding like a My Little Pony. Just randomly slash people. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, but
they hate remakes.
I completely get what you're saying, because I think that the 2009 remake of Jason, I think that's a great movie. I actually watched it the other day.
Yeah,
it's a good movie, and I think the Nightmare on Elm Street movie is also good. So the remake, and I think that this one that's to get back really on point.
Yeah,
2018 they had something there.
Yeah,
and then Kills was a little bit of a drop off in terms of the outside stuff outside of Myers. Yeah. But the Myers scenes was probably the best scenes of any Myers movie ever, because Kills, dude, he houses people, and he was transcending into something more, which is what I've been saying for years.
Yep.
And I was like vindicated. I'm like, yes, see, I told you. And then came Ends. So whoever, if they try to reboot this, God bless you, man, you got your work cut out.
Agreed. And the thing is, dude, I just don't understand why we just couldn't get at least a little bit of that Myers from Kills in this one, because we've seen people, women, whatever, kids fight people like Jason, who's a towering house. He wasn't weakened by anything, and we've seen him. People take them out. So why couldn't Myers still be somewhat dominant in the beginning of this film, slashing people and kind of where he left off? And then Laurie just bests him. You know what I'm saying? She beat him when he's at his. So pretty much what this movie's saying is that the only way Laurie could beat him is if he's a fragile, like, weakling. Is that what I'm getting?
How did he get to that point? It doesn't pick up where Kills left off.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense. That's what the problem I'm having with the movie.
Yeah.
If Kills had ended a different way, where he got his ass kicked and he just escapes, fine. But that's not how Kills ends.
Right.
And when you hear what Laurie Strode is saying at the end of that movie, this made no sense how this movie went, how it started and how it, like, really, he brings the cop, Corey laughs, lures the cop in there, and then kill him. And he's killing him, and he's like, oh, I can feel it. And I'm sitting there going, oh, this is so freaking cheesy. What are you doing? Like,
but that's why part of me wonders how much of this was actually planned. I know that they said they were planning a trilogy, but how don't we know it wasn't like Rob Zombie?
I think it was rushed. I think it was rushed. I heard through the grapevine that all the writers were in separate rooms.
Yeah.
And then they came together and they picked whatever story they thought was best.
Who the F like
does,
it?
That's exactly, and it shows in the movie.
Yeah.
So who the F does that? If you take pride in this trilogy that you were making, again, first one was great. The second one was still very good in my opinion. Like, outside of the Myers, there was some raunchy shit in that movie. Yeah. Like they're chasing that guy that does not look like Myers in the build or anything like that. Like they're chasing him throughout the hospital. It's like, that's clearly not him. So they didn't do exactly a great job in Kills either. Yeah. Some of the shit was like, are you serious? That's clearly not him. And then, but it was still, the Myers scenes was still epic. Probably the best I've ever seen. And then you go to Ends.
They got to be the best.
Kills, the Myers scenes in Kills was the best.
Yeah.
And then you go to Ends and it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it at this. Look, and I'm gonna say this. If you like the movie, power to you. You're not a diehard Michael Myers fan. I might get some shit for that. But I've been, better than anybody on YouTube. We know each other. We're family. I've been a diehard Michael Myers fan my entire life.
Yep.
This is not how this is supposed to go.
No.
You want to kill Myers off, fine, but they did Michael Myers dirty in this movie. He deserved a better ending in this trilogy. Point blank, period.
And you're not wrong, dude. Because like I said, or like a lot of people said, this did not lead up to this. That's the problem. Is that there was no signs that this was going to happen. I almost feel like we were watching a movie and we missed something. Like we missed a space. You know what I mean? Like there was something else there and it's gone. And
I'd like to see I think they should release
like a Snyder cut.
Yes, where because they deleted a lot of stuff out like they always do movies. Yeah. I would like to see all the deleted scenes put in, even if the movie's like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And I would like to see so that way I could go up to, and if I could meet these writers and be like, you left this out and you put that in. Yeah. Because we all saw it with the Snyder cut and I went, why wasn't this in the first version? So again, I don't know.
Yeah. It's baffling question. All in all, though, the trilogy was good. The 2018 one, I think, was the more simple storyline, but very well executed.
Yep.
Then, like you said, Kills, in my opinion, the best Myers scenes. He looked so unstoppable. He looked like such a monster. Like I loved it, man. I was like gushing over those. You're right. There was some corniness and stuff that didn't make sense. Totally agreed. It wasn't a perfect movie, but for Myers being in the spotlight, I don't think I've ever seen that character in a more appealing and like
powerhouse,
like even more so than the Rob Zombie ones, which were pretty powerful too.
Yeah.
And then to see it end like this, man, it's just, he was the first hour. I think he doesn't even show up until like 50 minutes in. And it's only for like a minute where he grabs Corey by the neck when he's in that little sewer thing. So like I said, I feel like we missed something where the powerhouse and then something like real quick. Freddy, when he becomes weak, is when people aren't afraid of him anymore. They're not having nightmares of him anymore. Makes sense. So you got to make him scared. You got to make people scared so he gets powerful again. With Myers, they never situated anything like that. They never said anything like that. They never even hinted at anything. Like, is it Halloween that makes him stronger? Is it what's going on? They need to pick a path and they need to go with it.
I have a conspiracy theory real quick.
Do it. Do it.
Are the same people that were in charge of these movies, in charge of the ones that were after the Tim Burton Batman, that ruined the Batman franchise until Batman Begins came along? Nolan's trilogy.
Possible, dude. Possible.
I mean, I'm starting to think so because, oh my God, did they destroy that shit?
Yeah.
And then Nolan came along and resurrected it, and it's going to take somebody like him to resurrect Myers franchise because they absolutely shat all over it.
Honestly, dude, in my opinion, I think what they need to do, wait like 5 years, scrap the whole thing, reboot it again. And you know what? Just to be on the safe side, don't even bring anybody from the other movies. I hate to say that because I love seeing when characters come back, but no, because it puts pressure and you got to try to follow this line and that line. And no, we're not following any storylines. We're not doing none of that crap. We're starting a brand new Myers trilogy. It's going to be 3 movies, so be prepared for it. Already have an arcing storyline. Don't worry about bringing back, Jamie Lee Curtis and stuff. Just bring a new Laurie Strode or even a new character altogether and just focus on making a great trilogy, dude.
And at the end of the trilogy, we finally get Myers versus Jason.
Dude, that'd be awesome, dude. It would be so. Let me tell you something real quick. I know as corny as Freddy versus Jason was, I loved it. That movie was so much fun.
So did I.
Dude, what a good popcorn film, dude. The only thing I wish was that Freddy got some kills. He got no damn kills in that movie. That's the only thing I wish. But other than that, dude, that was a fun movie to see 2 Titans fight each other, man.
We need to see that again, but Myers versus Jason. But they need to reboot this and make Myers the way that he started to become in Kills.
Yep.
Take that concept, and when you reboot it, take that concept and run with it. Yeah. Just go with it. He's not just human. He's something more. Exactly. So go with it.
And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with him starting off and everyone just thinks he's just a regular person. You don't have to go into detail and explain every little thing. It's okay. It's just a movie. Just make it fun to watch.
I got an idea, and I'm not a writer. Real quick, he's being transported out of one prison because there was a riot or whatever, and the bus tips over, and it just happens to be right next to Camp Crystal Lake on Halloween.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
There you go.
Write it, people. Write it. All right, man. I got nothing else to add to this. All in all, the trilogy was pretty good. It was fun. I just wish Ends was better, in my opinion.
Yep.
In your opinion.
Agreed.
So, but yeah, that was good, man. So, like I said, guys, please comment down below everything we talked about, your favorite masks and all that. We're gonna be doing some much shorter videos on the rest of the Myers movies, the Halloween movies, and just some brief opinions on it and stuff. So, so that way, I figured with Halloween being next week, we try to get these all done before Halloween actually comes. But all right, guys, take care. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.
Peace.